Here we are, hitting up events, drinking our way through Chicago beer, and trying not to miss a thing.
Yeah, because, the cork popped out, boom, it flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it.
All you have to do is add some fruit, stir it up, and ride that milk-shaped wave.
Whenever I see him, I gotta take a photo with the most decorated brewer in Chicago, Jonathan Cutler.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. You ever go to, every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Sometimes you want a small beer, but really, you want a big beer.
You gotta take in all those big aromatic hops.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Waiting in line for a bottle release?
You should have never been a fad. The Black IPA is delicious.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski,
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
and we are continuing our half-liter Steins Fest.
Proceed.
Yeah, I was gonna sing the song, but
That's the only thing I know.
Hi.
I don't know. I don't really know the song.
Ziggy zaggy, ziggy zaggy. I got that. But anyway, we decided not to go Oktoberfest this time and go in Marzen.
Marzen.
But
I feel like we've had a mix. I feel like, Brad,
we have
because like the
Salamoth
was a fest beer,
beer.
but I feel like Sketchbook
That was October.
and Buckle Down.
Buckle Down?
Yeah,
Those were Oktoberfest.
because those were way darker than the Oktoberfest from Salamoth.
Oh.
Right.
But that was like an American, like almost like a hoppy. I think Sketchbooks was more a traditional Oktoberfest.
My bad. I'm gonna consult
This
it.
is a Marzen, which Marzens are technically supposed to be brewed at a little bit of a higher alcohol,
Marzen. I just like saying Marzen.
a little higher alcohol, and are darker malts because they're supposed to be like March beers.
That's right. I think Marzen literally just translates to March.
Right.
So they lager it from March till October. I think it's an old world term, right? It refers to like, before refrigeration, the brewing season stopped. When it got, March was the last beer you brewed, I think, right?
Okay.
Because it was too hot to brew.
Yeah,
And you couldn't cool it because it was fucking summer and it wasn't no refrigeration.
that's true.
So you stopped brewing in March. You needed a beer strong enough to make it to October, and then you tapped it. I think that was the rough and quick and dirty,
Or was it the other way?
right? Because it comes out in
Tap
September.
it in March.
Huh? No, you don't tap it in March. You tap it in March. You brew it in March.
But now it's basically the same thing. There's like fest beers, there's Oktoberfest, and then there's Marzens. Because fest beers are usually like super local. Like you can only get them at the event. They're usually possibly maybe even a little lighter, just good for, pretzels and sausages.
Yeah, I do think fest beer is exactly that, and I think it's I would say 4.3% most of the time the fest beer,
Okay.
and then the Marzen's always a little higher.
Right. But the Oktoberfest kind of can. We've seen that be a lighter body, but it ranges now in it could be 4%, it could be 9%.
I kind of feel like it's just in American wise, it's just a catch-all term that could mean either one. It could mean Marzen, it could mean fest beer, and they just call it your Oktoberfest.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
We've seen, but some people like Hopewell here is saying this is a Marzen. So.
Yeah, because technically they're two different beers. And we were just looking at this. One's a European amber malty beer. That's the Marzen. The other one's a European pale malty beer. That's the fest beer.
Yeah.
So
This does feel heavier than the other ones we've had, but it's very tasty.
this is delicious. This is near the top. It might be one of my favorites.
And it
honestly.
could be that it's a chilly day. So it's like
It's actual fucking Oktoberfest weather.
it's like making this one feel like, damn, yeah.
It's pouring really good, man. Mm-hmm. Hopewell, man. Whatever the most underrated breweries in town are, Hopewell's right there. Right?
Yeah.
They always deliver.
Feel like they're a brewery you forget about, and then every time you have it, you want more of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird because they're in Logan, just wherever all the other breweries are. Mm-hmm. And I only go there because my bike shop is cross street. My bicycle shop is cross street.
Okay.
And every time I get my bike fixed, I'm not getting a new bike. I got the same bike for like 3 summers. Every time I get it fixed or checked, I always go to.
If you're going that often to get your bike fixed, might be time for a new bike.
I'm not getting another bike. I go to Hopewell. I go to Hopewell every time. But yeah, outside of that, I never go to Hopewell.
I feel like Sketchbook and Hopewell sort of fall in that same like bucket for me, where everything they make is really damn good,
Yeah.
and I don't go there enough.
Fair.
And I don't buy them enough. Like both.
Both. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of breweries like that.
Yeah. And Hopewell's branding sort of sometimes blends in with just all the stuff. Like I had to pick up 3 4-packs in the store to kind of be like, oh, what's this one? What's this one? It's just a color.
They lean heavy into the abstract. There's never like portraits. It's always just abstract art in different shades in different shapes.
Right, and that was until the Sketchbook Oktoberfest. That was the first time I seen that. But they have a similar thing going on where they have the beetle colors, which is sometimes hard to know what you're getting, right? But I know a few of the Sketchbook ones now. I know the pink one and the orange one, and so Hopewell's. I do not know what the blue and yellow stripe is gonna be.
Ingrain. Some strange names too.
I
man.
do like that their cans are like custom.
Yeah,
They're like
they got the waterproof label on the steel can like everyone, but their steel can has like
macaroni.
it's decorated.
With
It's
macaroni.
yeah, or like bike tread, right?
Oh, it's supposed to be bike treads.
Right, or something, right? Or it could be macaroni.
I think you're right. It's probably bike treads. You know, I just think macaroni and Marzen. That seems like a good combo.
I saw somebody posted black and pepper Triscuit, Merck's cheddar spread, and a Marzen.
Oh,
And I'm just like,
damn.
I need all of this right now. that sounds like a winning move right there.
All right. But yeah, we'll be putting this up in our lineup towards the end of this month, or end of probably October, where we run down all of our Oktoberfest lagers and see how it stands up. I think it could be a contender.
Dude, it's hitting the spot.
Yeah.
Just good stuff.
All right, we'll knock back a few of these. Nick, you made it around. I slacked off this week, but you got out there.
Man, with the summer ending, you know how I feel about that. I'm emotional. I'm torn. Endless summer. Yeah. It's funny because the door was slammed shut on summer, like the first day of fall, and it's literally like a 30-degree swing, right? It went from 84 to like 54.
From Wednesday to Thursday. I was like, yeah.
It's wacky. So I did go out. I went out pretty hard, man, since it was the last week of summer. First stop was Friday Night Flights, and I'm looking for the
Final Friday night flights of the season. We were recording last Friday.
yeah.
That episode still needs to go up, and then we wrapped up and you went out the door.
Yeah, I went to Friday Night Flights. Ravenswood, hello. Yeah, so it sat on the block, well, the 2 blocks. It sat in front of, so it was in front of a guy, I think, and definitely in front of
Dovetail?
Yeah.
So they moved it because it used to be in front of Band of Bohemia, which is now Forbidden Root. That's where it used to be at.
Really?
It used to be farther up.
No, it was definitely in front of Dovetail.
Well, this time, but as previous.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so yeah.
Oh, last was Ravenswood?
Maybe a couple times ago, yeah.
Okay. Man, it was good. DJ was jamming. It was dark by the time I got there. First thing I got was Second City Meadery, which they're right on Elston, apparently. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah. I got something called, what does this shit say? I had to look it up. Existence is Pain. It's a mead with blueberry, currant, and vanilla. I was like, yeah, it's the story of my life. I'm trying to close on this fucking place. He's like,
Summer's ending.
Summer's ending. Earnest money. Hey, but then he's like, this has been a popular one tonight. And I was like, oh, everyone's going through it. Good. So I got that. The longest line of the night was for the good folks at Old Irving.
Oh, really?
I was kind of surprised. I'm like, it just seems random that they would just have this really long line.
Yeah, were they pouring something special?
They were pouring like a strawberry lemonade version of Della.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then they had some kind of coconut IPA.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like the suntan lotion combination of coconut IPA and lime, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Strawberry Della, though.
Was where it's at?
That's where it was at.
Oh, shit.
Super long line for that. Had some illuminated. Their hazy IPA, I thought, was one of the best beers I had that day.
Okay.
And then I saw Alarmus. Alarmus had little juice, and then they also had something called well, it was their Hell's Lager, but it was their Hell's Lager soured, right?
Oh.
And what was this shit called? I got to consult with the photos, man. Oh, it was called Small and Nimble Strawberry Lemonade Sour.
Oh
Ale.
yeah, they've had this one before.
Yeah, and he was saying how I guess there was a power outage and there was somebody hit a gas line or something and they had all this beer in the tanks and they didn't have power. So instead of dumping the beer, they went and put yogurt in the beer, soured the beer, and then came with a new recipe. But it started as a lager, the Hell's Lager.
Okay.
So I'm like, when you say yogurt, do you mean like some kind of brewer's yogurt? Like, what do you mean? He's like,
Yeah.
no, like Dannon. Like, you went and got
Went to the store and just like.
and cleaned them out. Cleaned them out, bought all the Dannon, and threw it in the beer. It was so funny. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, this got to be real because this is a bizarre ass story, you know?
Yeah.
So I had that. That was really good. Yeah, who else was there? Howard Street was there. Half Acre, Lake Effect. I say maybe 10 breweries total.
Okay.
Yeah,
But no Urban Renewal because they're gone.
they're gone.
And then Smiley,
Oh.
we found out, would have been there.
That's true because they are totally near Ravenswood.
The Chicago location has closed.
Man, you know what's weird, man? It's like typically you either hear about the launch, you read the launch in the paper or on one of these outlets, or we're invited to the launch.
Yeah.
Neither for this place. You never really saw anything like, hey, come check us out.
Yeah, and sources say the space was very nice.
Oh, dude, this place was on Broadway, right by the, like it's a landmark, but everyone knows the IHOP, the IHOP on Broadway, because it's right by, it's just north of Wrigley, Oh, but anyway, yeah, man, this place took up like 4 storefronts, massive space, gorgeous, massive space. I rode my bike there once, because I was like, well, I gotta know what's going on, and I went in there, and Smiley Brothers beer, they flies under the radar, but they had really good food.
Right.
And they had a gold medal winning fucking barrel aged Belgian strong ale on draft.
Somehow.
Yeah. Well, shit, Empirical's got a fucking FOBAD medal, right? So, so apparently that's not enough to sustain you, right?
Medals alone did not pay the rent.
Yeah. So when you're in this space, though, now that I look back on it, you're just thinking like, they were taking the 4 storefronts, and it was on the first floor of what appeared to be residential.
Okay.
So they probably were just paying out the ass in rent, would be my guess. But I don't know.
You would have thought they would have did decent business, but anyway, yeah, they're closed, so they were not at Friday Night Flights.
No. Yeah, that sucks for them.
Was Half Acre and Spiteful there?
Half Acre was there. I don't think I saw Spiteful.
Okay.
Yeah. Half Acre was pouring.
Was Empirical?
I didn't see Empirical either. Yeah.
Was Hop Butcher?
Hot Butcher was not there. Yeah. Finished the night at Beguile, and Beguile's got a picnic island, but this is the pumpkin spice version. Yeah.
Okay. Any good?
Oh, it was great. That was my nightcap. 4.3%, little beer, big flavor.
Damn. Okay.
Exactly how I wanted to end it. It was cool.
Nice.
Shout out to the Guild. This is their event, and they have a new magazine out, man. It's not the full magazine size. It's more like a pamphlet size, just a large pamphlet. But it's called Illinois Brewing. I saw the president raced out. I'm like, this is you guys? He's like, yeah, it's all in house. We printed 10,000 copies. It's going to be at every brewery in the state, and we just want to get back to old fashioned magazines, and it's all local stories about all the breweries. So
That's kind of neat.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be free to the consumer.
Okay.
So and you can catch it at all the breweries. I dig that.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. I'll also keep an eye out for that if I ever go to another brewery again.
It'll come around. You need to take a break.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty good Friday. And then the weekend, found yourself out in the burbs?
Yeah, man. I was in the South Burbs. I'm from the South Burbs, so I was out there near Orland Park, and then I was feeling frisky. I looked on the map, and I realized Plainfield's not far. Well, not far. Plainfield's closer to Orland Park than the city is.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, let's just go to Plainfield. And I'm like, well, what breweries in Plainfield? And I'm like, Werk Force is in Plainfield.
Yeah.
So, I know the Werk Force guys from their homebrew shop days. They used to be Chicago Brew Works. And it was a homebrew shop, and then it morphed into Werk Force Brewing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So in the beginning, they had the homebrew shop and the professional brewery, like back to back. But now the old homebrew shop is in the same strip mall. It's a barrel warehouse, and now they have a much bigger space that serves as their tap room.
Yeah.
Really nice space. Wood everywhere, playing reggae music all fucking day. Just a very chill scene.
Was it busy? Like, I feel like the last time I was there, which I want to say 5 years ago now, it was hopping.
Yeah, when I got there, I was the first person there. Like, the only person there was me. This is 11 a.m. though, but by noon, the place had filled up nicely. They had the barrels outside you could sit at. Everyone was outside.
Okay.
Dude, just well executed, man. I think what did I got? The first beer I got was a collaboration with Twisted Hippo. It was a rye pale ale. Really dug that. And then I got the Baltic Porter, which was like 8%. And then I dove into oak aged saison with blackberries.
Oh,
it's called Midnight Vultures. They called that one.
All right.
And on the wall, you see all these like FOBAB, JBF, World Beer Cup, all these medals, like 10 medals, just kind of sitting pretty right behind this big wooden bar.
Werk Force is a brewery that I never see in the store, right? Like, they don't really distribute, do they?
Only place I see them is spots like Beer Temple or Promiscuous that tries to carry local suburban brands.
Okay.
But outside of that, and really just Promiscuous, like I don't see them at Beer Temple.
Okay.
So yeah, you're right.
I'm just trying to, like, I can picture the logo, but I can't even like picture the can.
Right. So we've always heard a lot of good things about those crewmen. It's a husband and wife duo. But like I remember that one night, I took a ride to Skeleton Key, and I was hanging out at the bar, and they were talking about the importance of Werk Force and how he's one of those guys that he's always trying to help other breweries. Because he had the homebrew shop, he knew a lot of these guys.
Okay.
And then like a lot of the Werk Force brewery beers, he would just give you the recipe, as a competing brewery and say, hey man, this is how we're making this. Go ahead and make it. You know?
That's cool.
Right. Just like kind of a stand-up guy.
And our buddy we know who now is at two-rounded
Glen Ellen, Illinois.
Yeah.
2 Round Red, is that it?
Two-hounded red. It's in Glen Ellen.
And there's a 2 and a red in it. Steve Wardendike.
Yeah. He was at Werk Force for a while, and he was there when they won for FOBAB.
Yeah.
So that was the ROM year.
Oh man! First of all, they had fucking metal detectors, so you had to spread your ass cheeks. It took forever to get in, and then the ceremony was like an hour late, and then the only thing we get is fucking ROM.
Yeah.
And everyone was so upset. They were booing. If they had tomatoes, they'd probably throw them. That was a rough year.
Okay.
Get your ass out of here. What the fuck are you even doing here? This is a beer event.
Why do people have so many tomatoes just to throw at people? Like, it feels like a thing you wouldn't want to waste.
Like, well, what if they're rotten?
If they're rotten, sure. But you'd like literally like, guess what? I got all these rotten tomatoes. We're going to see this guy. If he sucks, we're getting rid of him. If not, I guess we're bringing him home.
Fucking unload on this guy.
You're just like carrying around. It's like just hauling around like Goodwill stuff in your car for like months. You're just like, these rotten tomatoes. One of these times.
See what happens when we get half liters of fucking Marzen. We should have stuck to the fest beer.
Right. Tomatoes.
Yeah, I forgot where that came from.
So you were at Werk Force.
Yeah, that's right. I was at Werk Force. Shout out to Werk Force. Like that spot. Yeah.
Oh, and then you went across the state.
45 minutes straight north of Plainfield.
You were like, I think this is close.
Here I am. I feel like I'm just, I don't know what I was thinking. I was just feeling good, Maybe that was it. I was hammered.
Okay.
But, hey, no, they call it the Route 59 corridor.
Okay.
So they talk about Riverlands and all the Naperville breweries, and eventually at the end of this is fucking Geneva. So you go up to Art History, and we're on this Marzen kick, or Oktoberfest kick, and I'm like, well, shit, this is a straight up German brewery, so I'm already over this way. Fuck it, I'm going to Art.
45 minutes away.
I'm going to Art. I'm going to Art History.
So how did their Oktoberfest fare?
I loved it. Thought it was great. They got the band outside. It's a classic setup. German band. And, it sits in the strip mall. It sits at the back of the strip mall. Okay. 2 storefronts. Not the 4 storefronts like Smiley Brothers.
That's how you
see?
keep it. You go 4.
That's the tipping point. If you occupy storefronts, make sure it's no more than 2.
Okay.
And vertical.
That's how most in Logan. They only have 2 technically.
That's true. That is, see, we're onto something here. Horizontal tanks, classic German lager thing, right? Because that's what they do at Dovetail. Same thing. What else? Oh, they had a smoke version of their Fest beer.
Oh.
So I got the Fest beer. I got a
Rauch beer?
Arttoberfest.
But different than a Rauch beer.
What? See, this is the thing. I think anything with smoked malt could be considered Rauch.
Okay.
Right? So this is good. I'm glad you brought this up. So got the Fest beer. They got their Fest beer 4.3. It was interesting though because it was dark like this, but it was a Fest beer and it was 4.3. But it was
smoky.
The first one was not. Arttoberfest was not. The second one, Smoketoberfest,
Okay.
was smoky.
Okay.
Yeah.
How smoky was it? Was it ham on the rye?
Yeah.
Smoky?
Was it meat product smoky? No. It was just the right amount of smoke.
Okay.
That kind of lended the tannins, and it got a little bit on the nose. I would say you got more of the smoke in the taste than you did on the nose.
Okay.
Because it wasn't ham on the rye. Ham on the rye kind of tastes like you're drinking a meat product.
Yeah.
Right? It didn't taste like that.
Okay.
So I'm asking this guy. He's like, how often do you get Rauch beers? I'm like, actually, it's been a long time. And he's like, so we talked about it. And he's like, it only takes 20% of the malt bill to make it smoky. You do over that, the smoke flavor is so present that you go over 20% and you're drinking, meat.
Maybe we should have done a smoked black IPA when we brewed.
That's a good idea, Brad.
Black Long.
Because I like a smoky beer.
I feel like if we brewed the black IPA with Black Long,
Yeah.
make it smoked.
I think you might be onto something. I'll tell you something. I really like their beer Poncho and Lefty. It's a side note.
Yeah.
That beer's really good. So he's like, yeah, we make 3 smoke beers across the year. I'm like, nobody's making smoke beers, especially on draft. That's why I don't have them. He's like, yeah, we make 3 all year. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, we make. What are you talking about? He's like, no, he called it a Franconian. One of them's a Franconian style, whatever that means.
Okay.
Just like really dark. They're not all Oktoberfest beers. They're different styles beers. And they use 3 different malts. So for the Oktoberfest beer, they use just oak.
Okay.
Right? Oak is the one that gives off the least amount of smoke flavor. Right?
Okay.
And then they use a beechwood. Beechwood gives off a little bit more.
Is that like their summertime one?
I should have probed him for what styles are going with these.
Because I think of the Beechwood Blonde.
Yeah. And then
The Beechwood Blonde doesn't have smoke, but does it
I think beechwood refers to the name of the beach.
Oh, that's right.
Not that it has beechwood in it.
Yeah.
But it's close.
So confused.
He's like, man, beer is hard, man. Oak, beechwood, and then cherry is the one that gives off the most smoke flavor.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm like, now I got to know if we talk to these guys, well, what are these other styles of beer that have the smoke? Because the way they're incorporating the smoke is very nice. It does not overwhelm, but it's very, it's smoky. Yeah.
That's cool. There's a brewery in I think it's like St. Joe's that does you can get a beer, maybe a smoked one, but they give it into you like in a glass cover, and then they lift it off, and it's like
kind of like cocktails.
Yeah.
Like a smoked old fashioned or something. Yeah.
good presentation on the smoked beer.
I'm into it. And that beer's pouring at Beer Temple. If Brad goes to Beer Temple.
Can I go? I don't know.
You know what's funny?
I go by it all the time, and I think, is today the day?
It's funny because they told everybody that their Oktoberfest was brewery only release and in cans. Okay. And it is, except unless you go to the Beer Temple. Beer Temple has a cask relationship with them. Oh. So because of the cask relationship, they get like a random case of their Oktoberfest. So
they have it.
They had it, and I don't think anyone else had it. Like if you went to Bremiscus would have told you, this is brewery only. We don't have the Art History Oktoberfest. Okay. Which is technically true, but not.
That's tempted to pick it up for our see how it fares. Yeah. We might have to go 2. I was realizing as we're putting out these episodes, we're not going to even put a dent in the amount of Oktoberfest beers we can consume on the show. We might have to have 2 on the next one.
Oh yeah, like two Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
And that's good too, just for contrast, right?
Especially because I was like at the store and there's like, Goose Island has one, Rev has one. There's the Lager Town. Like there's lots of ones we've had before, but do we need to revisit them?
I mean, you could almost say, outside of an IPA, the style that damn near every brewery makes.
Is it Oktoberfest?
Even more so than the Irish beer. Everybody's doing Irish beers.
No, not even doing Irish Red.
But everybody does.
Everyone does a stout of some kind.
Maybe. We don't drink them.
No, a stout from some brewery.
When the last time you had a stout?
The half acre stout. How's the half acre stout? I don't even know.
And that's the thing.
I guess the big hugs, right?
Well, that's the thing. Like, and they do a stout. They're not just doing a straight up stout.
Yeah.
They're always doing a stout with some weirdo shit in it. Mm-hmm. They're doing a stout plus some bullshit. Not bullshit. They're doing an adjuncted stout in most cases.
Mm-hmm. But, okay. Art History, man. Their beer is so good.
I think so, man. Yeah, they dare I say that place is worth the trip. I really enjoyed their beer. As far as a motherfucker though, Brad.
Right. Yeah, Plainfield. Well, you're out there, not Plainfield. It's Geneva.
Yeah.
But you're right there by Penrose, and
That's the thing. You could do Penrose is like maybe 3-4 blocks away.
yeah. And then there's a brewery. Is the brewery next door to them open yet? What's that brewery that's opening?
Well, I thought it was. Well, Art History's moving. They're moving out strip mall. So I thought maybe Art History was moving closer to Penrose. I thought it was gonna be them.
I don't remember.
Yeah. But yeah, you could definitely make a trip out of it.
Yeah.
So, Route 59, man.
Yeah. It is crazy that we have like 3 killer lager breweries with Dovetail, Art History, and Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Like just like and Metro. I forgot. So
They're
4.
the granddaddies of them all.
Like really just crushing it.
We're drinking on a Metro Steins.
Yeah, on the lager front. That's insane to me. That people are like, everyone seems to have their favorite one, and I'm like, well, there's these people. Have you had these? And I'm like, what? No.
Yeah. And you know what's funny on that note, and I'll close out the lager thing. Like, because it made me think of what Dovetail said, how they consider themselves. We all consider them a lager brewery. They consider themselves a brewery that focuses on continental European styles, right? Because they're like, we have a Kolsch, and that's not lager, and we have this half, that's not lager. And they're like, okay, fine. And we do the creeks, and those ain't lagers, right?
Okay.
But to that point, when you're at Art History, and they have the art on the walls of all the old labels, they make an IPA. Oh. They make an IPA, which is funny. It's funny.
I guess I think of them as a lager brewery.
We all do.
Yeah.
We all do. It's so that, and I thought it was funny. I'm like, the fuck are they making an IPA for? It's so weird.
What's this lager IPA? This cold IPA here?
Yeah, but it was cool.
Damn. Okay. Any other stops or any other places you hit up?
Man, shout out to Pilsen Fest. We went down there, had a great old time.
Damn.
Pilsen Fest is powered by Casa Humilde.
Okay.
So it's a block party to close out the summer, right on 18th, right by Deus Ex.
Oh, okay.
So 18th and Blue Island, they cut off the block, and there's live bands on one end, DJs on the other end, food, beer. The only 2 beers you can buy are 2 Casa Humilde beers.
Shit.
It was great. Either Casa Humilde beer or micheladas.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Fucking, I feel like they are what we wanted Fire Rabbit to be.
Yeah. Do you think Five Rabbit looks at this and realizes how much they fucked up?
Five Rabbit's original plan was to go to Pilsen, but they decided it was not enough space. Yeah. So they ended up out there by Midway Airport. So, yeah, I mean, I thought this is there's so many Latinos in Chicago that this only made sense. Like, they're brewing Casa Humilde's brewing at Brewyards.
Right.
Then they're hosting the fucking, basically, they are the official beer of Pilsen Fest.
That's crazy.
Which is like on the other side of town. It's like they're going out of their way to find their people,
So they got to be, this would be an off camera for like Dan or someone at District Brewyards. They might be selling more beer than anybody outside of the restaurant. Even when I went to District Brewyards, it was the busiest station, and I'm not like a huge fan of the weirdness of their beers.
Like these different flavors that you don't really, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I like to try them, but it was the busiest station. And
yeah.
that's interesting. And to think that they're selling all this beer at like Pilsen Fest or probably outside of the market that we usually see.
Yeah, I got a feeling, and I think the Brewers guys kind of alluded to this. It's like, hey man, you'd be surprised just about. There's a ton of Mexican restaurants you go to, and right next to the Modelo and the fucking Tecate and the Corona is Gato Milde. So I think that's great for them.
Yeah.
And their hashtag on the can says Culturas and Fronteras or something. Culture in front, I think is what it says. So they're going out of their way to identify with people of Latin descent, right? Because you could be Puerto Rican or Mexican, Latinx. Yeah. Latinx. There you go. Yeah, the whole fucking the overarching thing.
The BC word for
that.
Yeah.
Anybody? Yeah. It's like so. I think it's dope, man.
Okay. Damn. Okay. Pilsen Fest. Nice. Very cool, man. Busy little week for you.
End of summer, man.
You doing it all?
I'm tired.
Summer's got you down.
It was fun though, man. I'm glad I went out. I'm glad it went out the way it did.
Yeah, you're ending summer with a bang. We're going into this fest season, and then we're gonna go big into stout season.
Man, God help us all. This is when shit gets really heavy.
You have your liver's like, help, give me a break. Damn. Okay. All right. Well, good little week. Good little stops around the city. There's a few events happening this weekend, which we'll mention, but this episode will probably come out afterwards. But there's 312 Day this weekend. There's Sketchbooks Oktoberfest event.
Yeah.
There was another Oktoberfest.
Revolution. 2-day fest. Yeah.
Which was what, $50?
Yeah, that gets you 4 pours.
4 half stein.
Yeah.
Pours.
And it's over 2 days. Yeah.
You could go back for 2 days, like 2 steins.
You can go. Yeah, you can get 8. You can spend $100 to get 8 pours.
Oh, okay. But you can't go. You can't be like, I'll take 2 tomorrow. I'll be back.
Like it'll be another $50, sir.
That'd be kind of nice.
That would be nice. That'd be the good neighborly thing to do.
I can't do it all the day. I know my limit. I gotta get home.
This is a lot of beer, man.
Yeah, 4 of these.
That's plenty.
Yeah.
That's plenty. Yeah.
Your arm's gonna get too tired. It's gonna be a mess. So yeah, those events are happening or were happening, depending on when you listen to this. I'm gonna try to swing by maybe 312 Day block party on Saturday, maybe early. Get over there, bike. Get a couple beers. They're all $5.
That'd be worth it to bike over there. That's a good call.
Bike there, spend a couple hours.
Yeah, that's all you need.
I don't need to see the bands. I don't need the.
I'm here for the Mint BCS, man, and I'm here for Regal Rye. You got Regal Rye? I want to try it.
Yeah, I'm here for a couple $5 pours. Take some pictures, say hi, and I'm out.
Okay.
So if it's nice, that's a good little bike ride from the north side down there.
Yeah. See what the weather's doing, man.
Any other events?
Oh, man. I think those are the only ones I could think of, man. 72 on Saturday.
That should be a great day for 312 Day.
Sounds lovely, Brad.
So might have to try out Mint 312 or Mint.
I want that Mint BCS. I know they got it.
Yeah. A $5 Bourbon County pours is very dangerous.
Oh, this shit's going to get weird, bro.
Because there's often flavors or variants that you haven't heard of or haven't tried, and you really do want to try them. So your best bet is to only show up with like your ID and like $40, and
Dude.
then that's it.
The good news is there's going to be probably a rotating list. That's their thing, of BCS, and it's going to be a crazy ass line to get to BCS.
But last time I was there, they were very efficient.
Really?
In how they got people through. They had them all like poured out on a tray, and you're just going and picking them up and dropping your token when you walk by.
I do enjoy seeing the full power of Goose's vault on display. Yeah. Whether it's, Dominique or the sisters or all these BCS, I do love seeing that because no one has a vault of different beers like Goose does.
True.
So that will be cool.
So yeah, check that out, or hopefully you made it there and we're recapping it on the next episode. But yeah. I think that's going to do it for this episode then. finished on Marzen's.
Marzen.
We'll look for some other good Oktoberfest. If you have any other recommendations in the city that we're forgetting about, if there's someone like, I don't know, does Haymarket have one?
Yeah, who knows?
Adam Street.
Yeah.
What are they up to?
Midwest Coast.
Midwest Coast. Yeah. Who should we get? Let us know.
Yeah, and good job by Brad, man, for finding these ones, man. Because I would have overlooked the Hopewell, and then now it's fucking delicious. It's one of my favorite ones.
Damn.
So
Bold statements. So Nick, where can people find you? Get in touch when we're not here.
hey, man, I'm on Twitter at Nicosio.
And I'm on Twitter at BRAD, Chicago Beer Pass, Twitter, Instagram, website, chicagobeerpass.com. Episodes are there. Take care.
Cheers.